Welcome to Momtroversial, the podcast that dives headfirst into the beautiful chaos of motherhood and dishes on the stuff we wish we'd known and nobody tells you. I'm Alyssa, a crunchy mom who's all about organic living. I'm organized, opinionated, and your designated wingwoman in any parenting bar fight.
And I'm Tori, your ride or die mom of three who will absolutely hold your secrets and your baby.
So if you can't tell, we're missing Leah today. She might hop on. She might not. We don't know. It'll be a surprise for
We
everyone.
hope. Yes.
um, but today we are kind of getting really momtroversial. And we're talking about sexual safety regarding our kids.
Mm.
And so we're just going to kind of chat about that a little bit. So feel free to let us know at Momtroversial Podcast on Instagram if you agree with anything we say, disagree, if you have other methods and stuff, because I feel like this is one of those topics that we always need to be kind of evolving in a little bit and just super aware
Mm.
about.
Yeah.
But we had a friend suggest that we do this. And while it's like possibly one of the more uncomfortable topics to talk about, I feel like it is really, really important. So I guess maybe not a trigger warning, maybe a trigger warning, maybe a don't listen super around your kids warning. Or maybe do. I don't
Mm.
know. Up to you.
Yeah. This is
Um
just a think about it before you listen
yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, I would say, Tori, do you have any like hard and fast rules surrounding this to keep your kids safe that you kind of focus on?
I mean, I think I do probably what most of us do. I don't just let my kids go off with anybody. I don't drop them
Yeah.
off at people's houses. Even people I know. I mean,
Mhm.
it's pretty rare, I think, if I will just leave my kids with anyone. But I have to just have, I don't know, there's parameters in my head that have to be met. And sorry for my voice, you guys. I've been sick for the last couple of days, so my voice is a little bit not normal today. Um, we do not do sleepovers. Um,
Yes.
and that's been a big change from my own upbringing because I did sleepovers when I was a kid. Now my parents were very selective. They were very like, we have to know the parents, gotta know where you are. Like they were really like protective parents about it, but I still went to sleepovers. Now thankfully I was did not become a statistic at a sleepover, but I definitely could have. And I know so many people that have. And so I just decided, like, it's not really that important, like, the sleepover portion. Like,
Yeah.
if one of Hannah's friends or Johnny's friends has a sleepover, they can go to the party, they can do all the fun stuff, and then I'll go pick them up at, like, 11 o'clock or something, like, I'm willing to make that compromise so they don't miss out on the fun, but, like, the actual sleeping part, to me is just unnecessary, and that's where all of the bad things happen.
I totally agree. We will not do sleepovers either. However, that is not different from my upbringing. I was not allowed to do
Mhm.
sleepovers, and it was the most embarrassing thing in my life, like high key. But I do appreciate it now. I It was like I dreaded them, the 11 o'clock pickup as a
Mm.
kid, and, like, it
Aw.
was rough, and my friends honestly never made me feel bad about it. They were always like, "Oh, we wish you could stay," that kind of thing, but they were really like, I had great friends that didn't make me feel bad about it, but, oh my gosh, I hated it so much, like, borderline almost didn't wanna go at all just to
Oh,
avoid the pickup.
that's
But
tough.
I know, and I think it is kind of just, like, a tough thing that you just have to get through as a kid because, like I said, I'm glad that they did it that way because, honestly, even with that 11 o'clock pickup, there was some things, not like, uh, what's the word? Like, inappropriate things, but, like, there were
Mhm.
some things that I was like, I don't really" like, even the, like, more innocent truth or dare, I was like, "Well, I don't really
Right.
want to be a part of this," but you can't say no,
Mhm.
you know? So it's like
Right, right, right.
so I am very glad that I didn't have to navigate after 11 p.m., if you will, um,
Yeah. Well,
now.
thank you,
But
Alyssa's mom,
yeah.
for making that hard call, like,
Yeah. It was a hard
paving
call
the
because
way.
I gave them so much crap about it. But it was a good call, and I will do the same thing with my kids. And something else that I'm aware of and I'm very selective on is dads in general. Like, granted,
Mhm,
it's not a huge issue yet because my kids very rarely go somewhere without me,
mhm,
but a lot of places, like, I would never send my kids over if, like, the dad was babysitting. I just wouldn't do it
mm,
for 2
mhm,
reasons. 1, you never know the dad as well. You just never do, and
yep,
husbands don't generally like, even if Ryan was a friend of the dad, like, you'd have to be a really good friend because guys just
mhm,
don't generally get that deep on stuff, I feel like.
right,
So it's hard to get a sense of them. And also because it's so much easier, like, I would never also have Ryan watch someone else's kids because it's
mhm,
just so much easier for there to be an issue, you know?
yeah.
Like
Yeah, I think
y
even guys are aware of this because David
Mhm.
said stuff to me because we
Yeah.
had a friend who was having a baby. She dropped her daughter off with us overnight and he was like, "Is that okay? Like, do I need to leave?" And I was like, "You don't need to leave. It's fine."
Yeah.
So he already like really cognizant of it too.
Mhm.
So I think which it kind of sucks, like if we're being real, like kind of sucks
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, men get this bad rap, but statistically, men are more
Yeah.
likely to do that, and, I'm even wary of, like, older brothers, and I hate that.
Yes.
I just wanna
Yes.
say, like, I hate that, like, I feel bad about it, but it is
Mhm.
real. Like,
Older siblings
if
in general. Because even if your kid is playing with the younger sibling, that younger sibling has the awareness of the older sibling. That's
Mhm,
something that, so I took this course, I'll plug it a couple times, it's called Birds and the Bees, and it's a course that you can watch certain modules of it to make it Christian or not. It can be Christian or secular. But it's like talking to your kids about sex, all of the things. And something that they say is your if your 7-year-old is the oldest kid, then they have a 7-year-old view of things. But if your
mm,
7-year-old is the youngest and the oldest is 15, your 7-year-old has a 15-year-old view of things.
that's
And
so fair.
so yeah, so it is, like not to say, like, "Oh, I'm never gonna let my kids play with anyone that might have, like, older
An
siblings,"
older
like, that's
sibling,
crazy.
but it's something to
But
think about. Yeah.
yeah. Mhm. What
Yeah,
about,
for sure.
um what about, like, when your kids are over at someone else's house or you have kids, your kids have friends over, like, do you have any rules around that?
Yeah, and we aren't allowed to close bedroom doors stay open. That's pretty much the only one. I don't let my kids wander the neighborhood either, which I know is a very, uh, not
It's a
normal thing to do,
'90s
I guess.
thing. I
It
don't
well, so
know.
our neighborhood is very 90s in that way, where, like, kids are
Okay.
just constantly roaming the streets and going to other girls' houses and stuff like that, and
Stresses me
there's
out.
a the same. And honestly, like, yes, there's the factor of being at someone else's house. My thing is, like, my kids could get run over like a pancake in the street because of how bad
Freaking
people drive here.
Koreans.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't you just don't know people
yeah,
anymore. Like, what I was allowed to roam the streets in the 90s, but I was not allowed to go into other people's houses, like, in without asking my mom first. Like, I'd have to go home, say, "Can I go to so and so's house?" Yes or no, and then I could go. Like, I couldn't just go in and
yeah,
out and filter in and out like kids do nowadays.
yeah.
Or
Okay,
and they
so
probably did that back then.
yeah, same. I always had to ask my mom if we were gonna go to another house beyond, like, a quick, like, run in the house and run out type thing for whatever reason. Um, and, like, fully, I don't think my mom was being, like, irresponsible by letting me roam the streets, but I cannot imagine letting my children do that. Like,
It's
how does that
scary. It's
reconcile?
really scary.
Like, yeah, it's crazy. It was so normal when we were kids, but, um but now it's, like, so not normal, or
Yeah,
it feels not okay, even though it felt okay then. Like, and I'll say now, like, it feels okay that I did that then, but heck no, my kids can't do it.
agreed. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I know, there's a girl who goes to Hannah's co-op on Mondays, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, there's a great little group of girls that are in the neighborhood, like, Hannah like, feel free to have Hannah join in at any point," and I was so appreciated that because I felt like that was
Mhm.
so inclusive and so sweet, but I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, no, no way."
Yeah,
Also,
it's
no,
just ugh.
because I just can't I mean, I would probably be okay with Hannah going to this mom's house,
Mhm.
if I knew about it and there was, like, a set time and all that kinda stuff, but, like,
Yeah.
I would not be fine with going to any place that I just didn't know about.
Yeah.
Um, Another thing that I'm really, high alert about is public bathrooms.
Mm.
I think, we're a little bit, we get to be a little bit more on the 90s side here in Korea because things are a lot safer here just in general. Um, but I think, even here in Korea, I'm like, looking in the bathroom to see if anyone's there before I let my kids go in. If I'm not, if I have like a big stroller or something to know about Korean bathrooms, a lot of them are teeny weeny. You cannot get
Mhm.
your stroller in there, or they're like, it's a room, but it only has one stall in it. So I just peek my head in. If no one's in there, I let my bigger kids go without me being in there because they're potty trained and big enough to do something like that, but I do safety check it first.
Yeah.
Um, there have been times where I've let them go into, like, the PX bathroom, and even that kind of, like not the PX, the shop at, like, the gas
Mm.
station on post, which sounds really shady, the gas station bathroom, but it's the on post gas station bathroom, it's different, okay? Um
It's just different.
it's just different. I've let Hannah go in there by herself one time, and I was, like, looking at my watch. I'm like, "Okay, okay." And I try to give
Be
there's, like, this
cool.
fine line between the autonomy that you have to give your child and their safety.
Yeah.
And, I try to, like, take opportunities where I can to give that autonomy. Like,
Mhm.
when we're at Jaggers, the bathrooms in the middle by Texas Roadhouse, like, I let Hannah go to the bathroom by herself there, but I'm very, I'm watching the door, I'm, like, looking at my
Mhm.
watch, like, making sure that, like, not a lot of time has passed. Um,
Yeah.
and, I think that's even a little bit out of my comfort zone
Yeah.
versus, like but again, I can't just baby my almost 7-year-old forever. She's gonna end up going to the bathroom by herself at some point. Like, she's gotta have some confidence and some level. So I do try to take the opportunities where I feel like it's safe to do so to let her go by herself. But, so many things have happened, and I'm gonna share this story. This is a trigger warning, okay? It's big, big, big trigger warnings for this story. I told this to Alyssa on our drive to Sierra Vista.
Dude, you did,
Um,
and now I mean, I was already going in the bathroom with my kids because 'cause they're, like, 2 and 3, but, like, goodness gracious. Now they'll be 12, and I'll be
um,
like, "Get in the stall with me."
this is a real story that happened to a real person, on, I believe, the interstate between Texas and Arizona. There was a mom went into the gas station with her 4-year-old and her 10-year-old. She sent both of the kids into the bathroom while she waited outside. Her 10-year-old came out of the bathroom and her 4-year-old did not. Well, she goes busting into the bathroom, and there was a lady that had taken her 4-year-old in the big stall, had already shaved her 4-year-old's head, and had dressed her child like somebody else and was trying to smuggle her child out of the bathroom. So, obviously, that is just the most extreme of extremes.
Yeah.
But these stories do happen, and they happen a lot more often than, um, I think, than we know and what is actually talked about and normalized.
Yeah.
Um, and so this isn't a fearmonger thing to say. This is like no, like this is just me trying to raise awareness. You know, I grew up in a border state and there's a lot of excuse me, human trafficking and a lot of
Mhm.
things like that that happen in our state. And so I think I have a more of a hyper awareness of it than maybe some other people do. But this kind of thing is happening. And so that's
Mhm.
obviously the worst thing that can happen in the bathroom or a sexual assault. But so just, I say all that to say, like, remain vigilant. Check the bathrooms before your children go in, even if it's a one stall. Make sure there's no one in there. I watched a social, think I'm like, feel like social media is a blessing and a curse. Like, we totally
Mhm.
like see things that we're like, oh wow, I didn't even know that was a thing. But then it's like, oh wow, I really could have lived without knowing that. Um, but I saw someone, there was like a man lingering in a park bathroom, and someone, like little girl at the park, had gone into the bathroom to go potty. It was like a one stall, like sink toilet and the same thing. And there's a man lingering in there waiting for someone to come. And it's like, so you can't even be, even in an innocent park setting, like you can't
Yeah.
let your guard down. So, and I really think that's, for me, that's what everything boils down to. Do not let your guard down when it comes to your kids. It's okay to be overprotective. It's okay to say no to things that maybe go against the social grain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about so something that Ryan and I really spearheaded this, and Ryan did a fantastic job of getting on board because he was so uncomfortable with it at first. Just because it is kind of uncomfortable if it's not normal. But I wanted it to be normalized in our house was using anatomically correct terms, and also just talking about it. Like,
Mhm.
it's okay to talk about these things type thing. So, all the time when we were first implementing this with Reagan and now KK that she's catching on to. Like, we implemented with Reagan at, like, when she when she started talking, that is when we started this. Um, and, girls have vaginas, boys have penises, you know? And, not just that, but, like, that it was okay, and, Reagan in the bathtub or whatever would be like, "Daddy, do you have a penis?" And Ryan's like, "Yes, I do." But he's gotten, like that was at first. Now he's, like, totally cool about it. But at first he was like, "I can't believe we have to talk about those."
I know.
Um,
I think
but
it's less hard for us as moms because I think we
yeah.
spend, not only we're the ones who go through the birthing process, we kind of lose some of
Mhm.
our
Modesty.
um modesty, yeah, for lack of a better word, when we give birth. And so I think,
Yeah.
saying the word vagina is not like a big deal. We're just like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a vagina. It's where you
Yeah.
came from. Okay.
Yeah.
Um
Ooh, yeah.
but, obviously age appropriate to say that to your child, but, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that was a little bit hard for David to start, because he was like, "Why are we doing that?" And I'm like, "Because if you're saying, "Don't touch my vagina," versus "Don't touch my
Hoo-ha.
hoo-ha," or whatever, like, little cute word you're gonna use, like,
Yeah.
you know, vagina, it has the potential to ward off somebody. You're like, "Oh, whoa,"
Mhm.
like,
That's
what do you
uncomfortable.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And so he was like, "Oh, okay." And yeah, so he got on board really quickly, actually. And, it was hard for him, I think, having a first child as a daughter, because, when you're, um,
Yeah.
when for all of us girl moms out there, we know this, like, when you're cleaning your daughter after a number two, you have to get a little intimate in the folds, make sure that none of it's left in there. And that
Yep.
for David was like, but I have to, like, do this." I'm like, "Yeah, you actually do have to do it." Like, and I
Yeah.
understand it's weird and it's hard and I'm sorry, but this is what's necessary for her health. And of course he was like, "Of course," and did it and all that. But, I
Yeah.
think there is like this overcoming for men to, like,
Yeah.
for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I need a small break. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Uh,
Anyways, using real terms. Um, but yeah, I think, like, it'll be interesting. It's kind of, I don't wanna say easy, but it is, like, kind of easy when they're little to just chat about it, whatever, because
Mhm.
you chat about the most random things anyway, so it's just like, "Yeah, sure, let's throw that in, whatever." Um,
Sure. Well, they're
but
naturally curious usually and ask,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
what this is and what that is, why this, why that.
Mhm.
So it is so much easier to implement that sort of discussion, like about,
Mhm.
and that to me is where the sexual education starts, is with
Yeah.
anatomically correct terms.
Mhm.
And, you kind of grow from there. I mean, I know Hannah's asked me how babies are made like 1,800 times, and I'm like, I'm not really ready to tell you. Um,
Okay,
because
another
she
plug for Birds and the Bees, though. They address it so well.
okay.
They use the
You've told me
term
about this before, and I've
seed.
wanted to check
I
it
think
out.
I had. Yeah. It's
Okay.
like $100 for the course, and the course isn't even that long, but, like, not
Mm,
in a you're not getting your money's worth kind of way, more in, like,
right.
a,
Like it's efficient and worth
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, they
Okay.
talk about how it's like, the seed goes into the mom,
Hmm.
and, like, so it's, like, it's very age appropriate. At first, it's the seed goes into the mom, and then later on, they explain what the seed is, and then later on, they explain where the seed comes from, and later on, they
Mm.
explain, that kinda thing, and they do a lot of good, like, um good role playing, I guess you could say, like, okay, what if your 10-year-old asks something in front of your 5-year-old and you don't wanna give the 5-year-old the 10-year-old answer? You give the 10-year-old the
Right.
5-year-old answer, and then you circle back and say, "You asked a really good question, but I didn't want, like, it wasn't appropriate for Tony to have the full
Hmm.
answer, so I'm gonna give you the full 10-year-old answer now to your question."
Nice.
Like that
I
kind of
like that.
thing. That is really helpful because I feel like some of these questions could totally come as like a, "What did you
Yeah.
just ask me?" So it's, like, nice to
For
have that in
sure.
the back of my head, like, "Okay, okay, we'll just handle it now, and if we need to circle back, we can circle back." But, like,
Yeah.
just normalizing it and making it not, um I just don't ever want my kids to feel like it's not like it's something they shouldn't ask or something that I'm embarrassed to talk to them about, because
Yes, I think
that's
that is
when
so many of
secrets are
our
kept.
yes,
Yeah.
well, and I think that's been so many of our, experiences in childhood.
Mhm.
Like, our
Yeah.
parents were a little bit more closed-lipped about it, or it was not appropriate to talk about, or, like,
Mhm.
sex is a very taboo topic, and so, when
Yeah.
your parents treat it like that, then obviously they're not a safe person to talk to about it.
Yeah,
And
it is
then you
hard.
only get your advice from your friends, and then, you kind of maybe make some poor choices as a result.
Mhm.
Um, or you don't get
Yeah.
the right information, or you would have made a different choice if you had more information. Like, there's so many different avenues to go down in that
Yeah.
respect. But yeah, I think the ability to have an open conversation with your child starts when they're very small, and building that trust and foundation. And this isn't
Yeah.
just for sexual topics. I feel like this is like when your child, if you get to 12 and your kid won't talk to you, that's because of like all of the younger years. This just
Mhm.
they didn't just wake up. And now I will say there are definitely some developmentally like normal things that happen at 12
Yeah.
that can contribute to this, but you have to build the foundation when they're small. And if you
Mhm.
don't, then you wake up and you have a teenager who's rebellious and all of these things.
Yeah. There's also, I'll plug another podcast, and I think she has some, like, outside resources too, but her name's Francie Winslow, and she has the Heaven in Your Home podcast, although now that I'm saying that, I kinda wanna say she just renamed it or, like, rebranded,
Mm.
but I used
Here,
to
I'll look it up
babysit
real
for
quick.
her.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I did, in Virginia. She was, awesome. Okay, it's called Female by Design now. She is really great, and it's definitely obviously geared more towards females, and she's got some episodes about talking to your kids and stuff because she has relatively young kids too still. Um, but her podcast it's really great. It's really great for switching the mindset. She's faith-based, switching that mindset from, uh, like, the shame aspect of sex and that kind of thing to, um to just celebrating your body and knowing how to celebrate your body, especially with your, um, spouse, and kind of setting an example for your kids. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else that you wanna talk about?
I mean, I'm sure we could probably even do a part 2 on this because I think this is
Yeah.
such a well, I almost think we should because I really wanna hear what Leah has to say about these things.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Um,
Maybe we can throw up a poll on Instagram, see if anybody else has anything that,
yeah,
they
because
want
I
us
think
to cover.
there's things like I don't know, this is a vast topic, and there's a lot of different
Mhm.
opinions surrounding it, so, I'd say I don't have anything left for now, but I would be curious what other people wanna hear about and definitely what Leah has to say, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, in that case then, we can move on to our momtroversial moments. What do you got for us?
I should have known you were gonna ask me that because we do it every time. Let me think. Oh, I don't really have like a specific thing right in this moment. Well, I guess I'll highlight Charlie. He is my little minor bird right now. He is repeating every
Mhm.
single thing that everyone is saying, and it's so cute and funny. Um, and I just talk to him like he understands me, and I'll
I
be
love
like,
it.
"Yeah, Charlie, we gotta do this because of this." He'll be like, "This because of this." I'm like, "Yeah." Like, it's so cute. Um, but I do feel like he's really understanding a lot of things, and
I love
it's
it.
really it's so third child energy because, being at my parents' house for over a month, I think really, boosted his language skills because he was around, like, 3 to 4 adults at, like, all
Mm,
times,
mhm.
and who were constantly talking to him, and then, my older 2 are constantly talking to him too, and they're very good with their language skills, and so I think he's
I was
just been
so
given a leg
impressed.
up
Yeah,
with his language skills. It's crazy.
yeah.
Well, and they, like from the time you saw him in the beginning to the
Mhm.
time, like, to now, I feel like he is, like, soared in his language
That's
skills.
awesome.
It's crazy. But I feel like maybe 2 might be not be so difficult because
Mhm.
I feel like half of the issue with 2 is their inability to tell you what they want, and I really hope
So
that,
true.
um I just feel like once you can communicate, like, so many of the issues go away, so I'm hoping that I don't know, maybe 2 won't be so tough, but that's all I have.
Honestly, I feel like it has been that way with KK, that she has been able to communicate so well. But yeah, my momtroversial moment is about KK. Um, for anyone who knows her, you know that when you ask her why she did something, she says, "Because I did." And that's not like that's just her that feels like an appropriate answer to her. Like, it's not her
Mhm.
being rude, like, "Because I did." I'm like, "Okay, well." So,
Like,
yesterday, I
any
was making
more
dinner.
follow-up? Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday, I was making dinner, and I heard her tell Reagan that she was putting her bear in timeout because she didn't listen to her mama. They call it mama, like, with a U, mama. She said she
Oh,
didn't listen to
like
her mama,
little
and
British
so
girls?
yeah. And so then, I just kept listening, and she, like, turned to her bear, and she looked at her bear, and she goes, "Why you not listen to mama?" "Oh, because you did." "Okay." Just had a whole conversation. "Oh, because you did? Okay." Like, it's a reasonable
Oh,
response to her. So, yeah, that was
I
pretty cute.
mean, she resolved it with her bear. They
Yeah,
got through it. Yeah.
we love it.
How are they
We gotta
liking
love.
their rooms and their playroom and the new house and everything?
I don't know, Reagan, how are you liking your playhouse?
I do like it.
She do like it.
I do like it. Oh, I love that.
Um, yeah, good times. Well, thanks for listening. We'll probably do a part 2 of this, and thanks for getting Momtroversial with us. Let us know if you have anything that you want us to talk
Yeah.
about over on Instagram at Momtroversial Podcast. Feel free to rate the podcast. It really does help us with reach. I used to hate hearing people say that because it was just annoying, but here I am. So please rate us 5 stars. Woohoo! But yeah, we'll see you next week. Okay.